Hey everyone, welcome to my recent game pickups for the month of July 2015. I got quite a few titles to show you, so let's go ahead and get into it. First up, got a couple PC games. Um, I don't buy a lot of PC games anymore, but I've heard that the OfficeMax actually had some on clearance for like $4 each. So I took a look in there and found a couple things. First up, we've got Rayman 3, Hoodlum Havoc. I've actually never really played too much of these 3D Rayman games. I do have Rayman 3D on the 3DS, but really haven't played that too much. Um, which is good because this actually comes with a bonus game, which is Rayman 2 The Great Escape, which is basically Rayman 3D. So, next up, I don't know why I picked this up, just because it was cheap and I wanted to see how it looked on my computer, but it's Assassin's Creed Revelations. Good game, good game. I still haven't beaten that game actually. Um, the next thing, I found this at a Goodwill, and it really caught my eye because it, first of all, it was in really good condition, and second, it just looked really odd. But it's a game called Remission. And in this, you play a nanobot named Roxy who is um, injected into a human body and fights cancer cells. This game was actually created specifically to give to cancer patients for free, and kind of a game to, I guess, help them forget about the cancer or help them deal with it. Um, Apparently this was pretty successful. Also had like an in-browser, like a web browser sequel to it. I haven't actually tried to get this to work on my computer yet, but it just looks really interesting. Um, but I mean, you can pick this up really cheap online since this was given out for free. But I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it is certainly an odd thing. Um, Next up, the only Xbox One game I picked up in July, but it's a good one. It's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Haven't really had much time to devote to this, but from what I played so far, it is a lot of fun, and just the overall presentation of this is great. You've got a nice slipcover, plus you also get a decent amount of bonus content, the Witcher Universe Compendium, also a detailed world map. You get the official soundtrack and some stickers as well. So really, really nice game. Now, GameStop had towards the beginning of the month a sale. It was you could get 4 games for $20. It was from a select few. The list was very similar to a few sales they had earlier in the year with a 3 for 10 and 4 for 10. So this was kind of a worse deal. 4 for 20 is really not the best deal, but still better than paying full price for these games. And they did add a few different games to the list here and there. So I think I got around 8 games. Uh, so let's go ahead and go through this. First up, we've got Dragon's Dogma. This is a game that actually got free through PlayStation Plus, and it was actually the Dark Arisen version of this, which I think they fixed some things with the game and added like I guess kind of an add-on expansion to it. But um, you know, I have I don't have enough hard drive space free on my PS3 to download everything, and I don't want to spend all the time downloading all of these free games I got on PlayStation Plus. So it's just easier to have the disc. Maybe one day I'll pick up Dark Arisen to replace this, but I definitely am looking forward to getting back to this because what I played was actually pretty neat. Next up, this is a game that I've been waiting to get for a long time now, and it's Grand Theft Auto 4. I had this back on actually on PC years ago, and I couldn't really get into it. I mean, the gameplay was fun. It was Grand Theft Auto, but the main character I didn't like at all. I couldn't get into it to him as the main character. But next up, we've got Medal of Honor Warfighter Limited Edition. Uh, you know, I think the Medal of Honor series is kind of over now. I mean, if you want to play this one, it's fun. The graphics are really good. I actually like the original Medal of Honor game. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if you want to play, it's pretty decent so far. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna make another one. Next up, again, this is one I got free off of PlayStation Plus, but just wanted the disc, didn't want to go through the process of downloading it again. And this deal was a pretty good way to do that. I picked up Borderlands 2. Pretty fun game. Next up, we've got, not sure how to pronounce this, it's Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. This is a really fun game. I mean, you are a cyborg ninja facing off against zombies. It is a button masher, but it is a lot of fun. Has a great art style to it as well. Really, really enjoy this game. Glad I picked that up. Next up, this is one game that I have been trying to get into. Originally played it on 360 a little, and also I think I got this free on PlayStation Plus, but again, I wanted the disc, but I picked up Dishonored. Uh, I know there's actually a definitive edition of this coming out on Xbox One, which I may pick up, so who knows if I'll actually get through this copy of it. Now, if you remember in the previous game pickup videos, when I did either the 3 for 10 or 4 for 10, when I took advantage of those deals, I picked up a few games that were disc-only games. And while I kind of justified it at the time with, it was just a great price and the game is really what mattered, I really wanted the cases for them. So I went ahead and bought the games all over again and picked up Final Fantasy 13. Got the case and manual in it, and Dead Island Game of the Year edition, again complete. So really glad to get those in the collection. Now those are all the games that I took advantage of in the sale. These are all the next PlayStation 3 games are just ones I picked up afterwards. First up, this was kind of a blind buy. I was aware of these games, but didn't really know much about them, and it was under $2, so I figured why not. It's Operation Flashpoint: Dragon Rising. I played a little bit of this, and so far I'm not too impressed. It may take a bit of time to get into it, but yeah, I'm not really liking it all that much now. Yeah. Next, this is a game that I rarely see at GameStop, but it's Sacred 2: Fallen Angel. This is very much like Diablo, and I do like these kind of dungeon crawlers, so this should be pretty fun. Although finding the time to actually devote to this, that'll be the real challenge. Next up, this is a game that I bought years ago, and I don't know. I guess I felt I couldn't get really into it all that much because it was a very over the top game. But I decided to give it another chance because I wound up selling it off or trading it in. And it's Shadows of the Damned. This is a Suda 51 trip. This is a pretty crazy game. You play a character named Garcia Hotspur. He's killed one too many demons and pissed off the Lord of the Underworld. Now he's about to take one hell of a trip to rescue his kidnapped love in the City of the Damned. Next, this is a game I've been wanting to pick up on PS3 for a while. Originally played it on 360, and for the most part enjoyed it. Never really got too far into it, but this is a game based off a superhero movie. It's the Amazing SpiderMan. This game is actually set after the events of the first film. Obviously, though, the second film has kind of rendered this story not canonical. But this is a fun game. They kind of take the combat system from the Batman Arkham games, um, and it works fairly well for the most part. The web slinging is fantastic. The graphics are great in this, and it is a lot of fun. I think that the missions indoors aren't the best, but I think with the controls they definitely help with the indoor missions. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty fun game. I heard the sequel to this is absolutely terrible. I really, you know, that's the problem. Beanox is a I think a good developer, but I just don't think for the second one they were given enough time to finish it. But I don't know. I may pick it up someday and try it. Next up, I got this when I was on vacation a few weeks ago. I went to a Best Buy and saw this on clearance for $14, and this is a game that I never see in stores. So I decided, you know what? I have been wanting to try this game out, so sold. And it's Family Guy Back to the Multiverse, and I'm not even halfway through this yet, and it's not that good. It's really not that good. It's, I mean, it's fun. It's a third-person shooter, and the premise of this is you're exploring the multiverse, going to all these parallel worlds, and I mean, it's fun. It's just the Family Guy humor just really isn't there. I'm not finding it funny at all. A lot of times it feels like they're being vulgar just to be vulgar, and to me it's just not funny. So yeah, this isn't a very good game, but I mean it's decent. Oh, I have had it jam up on me a couple times, so I don't know if it's a game or my PS3. I played it the other day for a few hours and it was fine, so I don't know. Next up, I went into a Target a few days later and found this on sale for $10. And of course, they released it as a free download the next day on, or they announced that it was going to be a free download on PlayStation Plus. But it's God of War Ascension. And I actually played a little bit of this in my free trial of PlayStation Now, and it's pretty fun. I definitely this is one I've definitely been wanting to pick up, and I need to get back into this. But fun game. All right, well that's it for the PS3 games. Now I'm going to get into the couple of Wii games I got. First up, I went into like two GameStops and just was looking for cheap Wii games. And so the first one I found was under $1. It looked interesting, and it's a game called Build and Race. With this, you can race around different tracks, and you can actually build your own tracks. Now, I did a little bit of the racing. It's it's a pretty mediocre racer. The controls aren't the best. Haven't tried out the track creation, so I don't know how good that is, but it claims over 1,000 different building blocks and tools. So we'll see on that. Next up, this is one that I've heard is really good. This is a light gun compilation. Two games. It includes Gunblade New York and LA Machine Guns Rage of the Machine. So I haven't got to play this yet, but I've heard this is pretty good, and I got it in pretty good condition for under $4, so can't complain about that. Next up, I remember playing this game back on the PlayStation 2 and really enjoying it. It's kind of like God of War, not that much of a button masher, but it is pretty similar. It's and I didn't know it was available on the Wii until probably about a year and a half ago. And I've been wanting to pick this game up and found it. Price was right on it. And it's Rygar, the Battle of Argus. And you would think that this being like an action game on the Wii, they would utilize the motion controls and be a lot of the waggling controls, but it doesn't have that. It's all button presses, so that's awesome. It's a good port, man. It's a good game. I definitely recommend picking it up. And then finally, this is a game that I've been wanting to get for a long time. It's the sequel to Excite Truck, which is a really fun racing game by Nintendo, and it's Excitebot's Trick Racing. And I played a little bit of this, and it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend picking this up. Alright guys, well that is it for my recent game pickups video for the month of July 2015. As always, like the video, share it, comment below, and subscribe. Till next time.